What's going on, people? We up early at it, man. Walking around, man, looking at it. We out at the Hard Cut Bully Kennels camp. Just put some of the puppies up. We've been out doing some training early this morning, man. We have puppies here still. And that's what I wanted to talk about today is the puppies. Getting a lot of people. I know that all of us that are on the internet, that even follow people on the internet, we always see these people saying things such as adopt, don't shop. So I want to kind of break that down, what we're talking about when we say stuff like that, and what that actually means. Does that even make sense? Because whether you know it or not, there is no free dogs at the dog shelter. Even the dog shelter charges you for a dog, and they got tons of dogs that they got to get rid of, and you still can't get it free. They got tons of dogs that if they don't get them a home, they don't have to put them to sleep because they don't have no place to house them, and you still can't get it for free. But you think that you should be able to call me, an individual person that's a dog breeder, and get a free dog. Or when you see me doing my business, you want to distract the people and tell them to go get a shelter dog. Well, I just wanted to make sure so that people understood that there is no free dog. Adopt, don't shop don't make no sense, because when you get to that dog shelter to get a dog, guess what you're going to have to do? Shop. Because it's rows and rows and rows and rows of dogs in there. And you're going to have to go through all the rows and look at the different dogs and pick the one you want. That's called shopping. And then you're going to have to pay for the dog. That's called shopping. So adopt, don't shop is a dumb statement. I'm not going to call you dumb. You're just ignorant. It's an ignorant statement. You think that you know what you're saying, but you really don't know what you're saying. The cost and it takes to house those dogs at the shelter puts a cost into the dog. So in other words, when somebody drops a dog off at a dog shelter, the dog shelter buys the dog. Because the dog shelter has got to house the dog now. The dog shelter has got to get a kennel for the dog now. Got to feed the dog. Got to pay people to take care of the dogs. They got to water the dogs, spade and neuter the dogs. If the dog, they got to do whatever it is health-wise for the dog. Okay, so at that point, the dog shelter has money invested in the dogs. And they will put that dog to sleep before they give it to you for free. Because there wouldn't be no dog shelters if they gave it to you for free. If they gave it to you for free, they would spend all their money taking care of dogs, housing dogs, feeding dogs, being a vet for dogs, and then give it to you. And then next week, got to go pick the dog back up again because you ain't taking care of it. It wouldn't work. It would not work. But in seeing that, you should see that nobody can afford to give out free dogs. Because if a dog shelter is sitting there with hundreds of dogs, I could say thousands. I mean, I've been to dog jail a lot of times, what I call a dog jail, for different reasons. One of my dogs got loose, somebody's dog down the street get loose or something, and I'm helping them look for it. I've been to a lot of dog shelters. And there are a lot of dogs in all of them. There are a lot of cats in all of them. So if you can understand what I'm saying, there is a cost involved in every dog. Now, once you get to the pedigree side of dogs, where I'm at, just the veterinary care alone is expensive. Just the dog food alone is expensive. Just the embark testing to make sure you got good DNA, that's expensive. The C-sections, progesterone test, housing the puppies, whelping costs money. So by the time I put the video up of the puppies, I already bought the puppies. But if you see a video of some puppies, I already bought the puppies because I already did all the prenatal stuff. I already did the studs feed. I already did the C-sections. I've already did the PG test. I've already did all of the stuff that it takes to get the puppy here. And in doing that, we incurred cost. So there's no way you can call Hardcut Bully Kennels and say, man, I got to have a companion dog, man. I got to have one, man. I don't have no money. There's no really you saying that to me because there's nothing I can do about it. You have to be able to afford a dog in order to get a dog. And that's from wherever you get it. It's not just breeders. You can't go down there to the dog shelter and spend $35 on a dog and then not have the room to take care of it. You know, when you come and get one of my pups, the pups got good lineage, it's good heritage, good training. He gonna have some training before you see him. He gonna have some socialization before you see him. Not all breeders are that way, but the good ones are. So he's gonna be already conditioned to be a family member when you get him. Now the dog at the dog shelter, been living on the street, man. He's serious. He's serious. He's not the same. He got different things on his mind. He's been through some stuff. He got PTSD being out there on the street. Could be a great dog, but you gotta have time to be great with that dog. If you get a shelter dog, you're gonna have time to spend with it and the time it takes. That's the only reason you go get a shelter dog. Don't go get a shelter dog just to let him sit around unattended, because you don't know where that dog came from and you don't know what his tendencies are. So if you're ready to work, then you could go and get you a shelter dog that you want to be. I seen that there's a one little commercial. You got to pay attention to these commercials. They'll tell you what they're trying to do. But there's just one commercial, and there's a veteran. He's a disabled veteran. I'm a disabled veteran. He's a disabled veteran, and he goes down to the dog shelter and adopts a dog. And the dog he adopted been through a lot. He been through a lot. The dog all scruffy looking, and he got to have one leg. So they jump in the car and they buddy, and they going about. I got no problem with that situation. One, that soldier is disciplined. He knows how to stay consistent. His life is consistent. He ain't all over everywhere. And he bought the dog for a buddy. So he's gonna be with the dog. He's gonna have companionship with the dog. So even if the dog had a bad past, he can straighten that out being with the dog now. He can have a relationship with the dog now and straighten that out. He didn't bring his kids in. He didn't bring his wife in, so he doesn't have a family. It's just him and the dog. That's gonna probably work. Okay? But everybody else that have a hard, regular life, just get up, go to work, take care of the kids, run the kids to soccer practice, run the kids to cheerleading practice, come back over here, do parent-teacher conference. When you got a real life, it's not easy to make room for a dog. And if you can't do that, you can't go get a shelter dog because they got other conditioning and stuff going on. You might be able to adopt a dog. You might be able to get a dog from a breeder, in other words. If you get a dog from a breeder, you may be able to get a dog that you can condition to your lifestyle because he's a trainable dog. He hasn't been through a bunch of bad stuff in his past. He's a trainable dog still. You might be able to get a good dog that you can live your rough lifestyle with. But if you want to shelter dog, you're gonna have to spend some time with him, man. He got PTSD at the least. Just being in a dog shelter will give you PTSD. It'll give me PTSD. I like dogs, so me in a dog shelter gives me PTSD. Yeah. So there's no free dogs, man. Whether you understand it or not, there's always a cost inherited to this. There's always money that you're not seeing being spent. And that's where the all comes from. But just to keep all the critics quiet, adopt, don't shop. That's a nice little slogan. It seems good little thing to say, but it don't make any sense. Because if you go down to that dog shelter looking for a dog, you're going to have to do some shopping. Especially if you want one that fits you. But you need to come on off the bench and get you something hard cut, man. Let me say that again. You need to come on off the bench for the big win. And get you something hard cut, man. It's on.